Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today in this video you're going to see how to make a perfect restaurant style butter naan. So without any further ado, let's go into the video. Before going any further, do subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon and select the option all for further notifications. Take a bowl and add about 1.5 cup of all-purpose flour or maida. I think this measures about 400 to 500 grams of maida. Into this, add about 1 tablespoon of baking powder. Make sure you're using baking powder, not baking soda. Next, I'm adding salt. Next, I added about 1 tablespoon of sugar. Now I'm going to mix all the dry ingredients and keep it ready for the next process. Here we used 1.5 cup of maida. For that, I'm going to take 3/4 cup of curd and beat it thoroughly to make sure that there are no lumps in it. You can even substitute curd with milk. After whisking the curd thoroughly, as we took 3/4 cup of curd, I'm going to fill the remaining 1/4 with water and make sure it gives a nice thick buttermilk texture. Here the buttermilk is ready. Now let's mix the maida with the buttermilk. Don't add all the buttermilk at once. Make sure you add little by little and knead the dough properly. Although we took about 1 cup of buttermilk, if the buttermilk is not sufficient, you can even add extra water for kneading. Make sure you take time and knead the dough for about 10 to 15 minutes to make it very soft and give it a nice texture. As you see, the dough should be of this texture. At this point, add about 2 tablespoons oil and give it a final knead for about 1 to 2 minutes. Adding oil at this point makes the dough not to dry up too fast because we need to keep it to rest for about half an hour to 45 minutes. So this may cause the dough to dry. So when we add oil at this point and knead it once again, so the dough stays soft and moist until we prepare the naan. So I'm going to cover the dough with a wet cloth and keep it to rest for about 1 hour. After leaving the dough to rest for about 1 hour, now let's knead the dough once again and separate them into dough balls. Here I finished separating the dough into dough balls. Now let's go into the further process. Here I took a dough ball and dusted it with a little bit of flour and started rolling it. Don't spread out the dough too thin because our naans may turn out crispy and crunchy. We don't want our butter naan to be crispy and crunchy. We want them very soft. So spread it out into a medium thickness. We don't want it to be too thick or neither too thin. After rolling the dough, I'm going to top it up with few coriander leaves and sesame seeds. After adding the sesame seeds and the coriander leaves, give one more roll on top of them so that they stick onto the dough and they don't fall off. Take the naan, turn it onto the other side and spread it thoroughly with lot of water so that it sticks onto the pan. Make sure that the dough is properly wet. Now the pan is nice and hot. Now let's add the naan onto it. Make sure you add the wet side onto the pan and let it cook until the bubbles show up. Make sure that you're cooking the naan under medium to high flame. Don't put it onto the lower flame. As you see that the bubbles are started, now let's flip the pan over and cook it directly on the flame. Make sure that you're cooking it evenly and properly. Now as you see that the naan is turning into golden brown color, that's enough. Now the naan is perfectly cooked and done. Now let's take it out onto a serving plate. And add a generous amount of butter onto it and spread it evenly all through the naan. And yes, finally the butter naan is done. It really tastes so yummy, guys. Please try it and let me know. It gives the same taste and same texture which you tried it out in the restaurants. So I just gave a quick garnish with a little bit of coriander. And the perfect butter naan is ready. The best way to have butter naan is with butter chicken. If you don't want to miss the recipe of butter chicken, turn on your notifications and stay tuned to my channel so that you don't miss any of my recipes. That's all for today, guys. Please make sure that you try the recipe and let me know in the comment box how it turned out to you. Thanks for watching. Bye.